The Air Jordan 3 Black Cements are the latest red hot retro to absolutely brick. A sneaker rumor that only the most gullible people took the time to believe has indeed been disconfirmed. But we have had some confirmation of some pretty hyped up releases for 2025. We'll be taking a look at those. And we have a whole bunch of other really interesting, I promise you, they are indeed interesting, sneaker stories to talk about in this week's Sneaker Wrap. Hello everybody, it is me, JjjjOUND, and every Saturday I do these weekly sneaker news recap videos where we go over some of the biggest sneaker news stories from the past week, talk about some upcoming sneaker releases that are somewhat interesting, and just have a gay old time with one another. Let's start things off by recapping this week's biggest sneaker releases. I want to start off with the AMM Air Force 1 Low. Bro, these have bricked. These are still sat on the AMM website. If you missed out on these and you wanted these, well, you couldn't have missed out on these. They're still there. They've been sat. Why did these brick? Do you guys know? Are people just tired of AMM and Nike and Jordan brand? Have they been doing too much to the point where it's caught up to them, where their stuff isn't appealing no more? Most people over here in the UK and the EU were probably going to skip out on this release because people don't want to have to pay for the customs and the excessive shipping. So yeah, I don't know. These bricked. And they weren't the only big Nike banger to brick this week either. The Black Cement 3s are sitting in most retailers. If you wanted to cop these, easy cop, which is great news. I myself did come up on a pair, but bro, I got absolutely lassoed by the exclusive access. I was going to sit out on this release. My 2018 pair is good. I'd pretty much resigned myself to the fact that I was going to be sitting these out, and then bro, they hit me with the exclusive access, which when you get given it is very hard to turn down. So yeah, they got me. They're coming. I'm going to bring you guys my review on them tomorrow. Also had the latest Cortez Nike Air Trainer Huarache, which dropped on the Cortez website. And I don't know what the UK did. I don't know why Clint all of a sudden decided to exclude his fam, his mandem from the drop, but this was an internationally available sneaker only. If you're in the UK, you couldn't cop these, but to be honest, I'm not really that mad because this light bone colorway is a little bit dead, at least to my eye. I sort of prefer the gray pair or maybe the darker pair, so yeah, no big deal there, but they dropped as well. Also had the Clot Gazelle collab, as well as the Avavav Superfinger Superstar, the Solomon XT6, the Sneakers and Stuff joints, as well as the Kids of Immigrants Sunders, as well as the Bape or Ketros. There were so many sneakers. I mean, if you did buy any one of these sneakers, it probably would have precluded you from buying some of the others. I totally get that. Otherwise, it would be a mad expensive week. But yeah, I just came up on the Black Cement 3s. Did you cop anything? Feel free to let me know. Right, let's get into the news. I want to start off with this story here. It's not really a story per se, but it is a bit of an update. Last week, Lil Yachty crashed out at ComplexCon while he was part of this panel discussion talking about the sneaker of the year, and his sneaker got brought up, and I think Joe LaPuma had instigated some kind of critique by Bimma Williams, which he had made online in the days leading up to the event, and Lil Yachty basically just flew off the handle and decided to personally attack Bimma Williams in what looked like a pretty petty, petulant, man-child-like outburst. And this outburst was captured on camera. It was shared on Complex's socials, and the entire internet pretty much reacted to it, calling Yachty out for his small d energy behavior. And in the wake of all of this, Yachty decided to get up with Bimma Williams on an IG Live and not so much apologize, but at least acknowledge that his behavior was indeed corny. So the good news is that they can now draw a line under it. I'm sure Bimma Williams can probably look forward to receiving a personal pair from Yachty himself. And we just saw the promotional content for the Nike Air Force 1 Low Concrete Boys collab. This came out in the form of a short film, which was directed by Lil Yachty himself, and yeah, the film's pretty cool. I guess one of the things that maybe counted against the film is that he launched it last night at exactly the same time, or at more or less the same time as Kendrick Lamar decided to drop his latest album. Last week we were talking about the rumors around the Jordan 4 Friends and Family Travis Scott purple sneaker coming out in 2025, and I'd said that this was one of those rumors that tends to surface and then gets disconfirmed merely days later, and that's indeed what ended up happening in this instance. I do still stand by the comments that I made about this shoe when I said that these should be a thing, or one of the other Travis Scott colorways should come out for the Jordan 4, because it's been so long since we had this sneaker, and these are, in my opinion, one of Travis Scott's best collaborations. I know they're pretty basic and they're pretty boring and stuff, and they did come out back in like 2017. So we are long overdue for another Travis Scott Jordan 4. And the fact that he's got so many really nice colorways out there in friends and family form only serve as more motivation as to why they should bring them out. Now, even though that rumor has been disconfirmed, these have been confirmed apparently via sneakers as well as retailers. That is the Air Jordan 1 High Off-White NRG Retro, or the white on white SKU, as well as the Jordan 1 High Union Fragment collab. Also got the Jordan 1 High Union Chicago Shadow. We've seen images of those. We know that we've got the Bread High 85s coming out for All-Star Weekend, I think. And then the Shattered backboards, which might be coming out in a pack alongside a pair of SBs. Not SB Dunks, but another pair of Nike SBs. And then, of course, the reimagined Jordan 1 UNC. So those are 6 big banger Jordan 1 highs set for next year. And all I can say is that I hope the energy that we currently have in the market for Jordan 1s stays the same, where these are going to be somewhat attainable. I do think some of them will be more attainable than others. I can see the UNCs being a relatively easy cop. Maybe also, hot take here, the Shattered backboards as well as the Breads. The collabs I can see being a little bit harder to attain, especially the fragment ones. What do you guys think? You guys might have seen this story doing the rounds this week. Nike asked the surgeon to make 100 pairs of white Travis 1s for the Michael Rubin white party, and then 11 days later they sued them. This whole narrative has been built on the foundations of what I think is the surgeon's response in court. Some court documents have leaked out, including some references to the Michael Rubin's white party, as well as the shoe surgeon frequently reaching out to Nike to ask what was going on with their agreements. And I feel like this story has been built on a little bit of nothing, really, because we know at the end of the day that Nike are suing the shoe surgeon for multiple trademark and copyright infringements, as well as counterfeiting. And when you look at the shoe surgeon's setup, whether it is selling a whole bunch of Nikes that weren't approved, using other trade dress from other brands, or even building Nikes from scratch and creating molds, or even teaching other people how to make Nikes from scratch, you can understand that the lawsuit is about more than just what this little headline would suggest. So I think this is nothing more than just clickbait, albeit pretty effective clickbait for sure. Trae Young has signed with Jordan brands. He's left Adidas, and if you look at his Adidas sneaker, you can understand why. Adidas have been doing great things in the basketball performance space this year, but the Trae Young shoe could not be considered one of those among them. Tinker Hatfield paid homage and respect to the loss of DJ Clark Kent by sketching out one of his most famous Nike collaborations, the 112 SB Dunk. You guys can see it right over there. What a shoe, what an absolute beauty. And before you want to ask, yes, I do wear these, and yes, I will be continuing to wear these. And this is one of those sneakers that, because of the memory of Clark Kent, will never get sold. Crocs have hired former Yeezy designer Steven Smith as the head of creative innovation. Now, yesterday I made a video talking about some Salehi Banbury sneakers that the bro sent me, and I was speaking about this crazy brand resurgence that Crocs have had in the mainstream eye. And this move here, bringing in Steven Smith, is a crazy good move, I can't help but feel. And it's going to be really exciting and interesting to see what he can come up with. Right, let's talk about some new sneakers, some new looks, some exciting release information, all of that type jazz. I want to start off with these. We saw this week leaked the Tom Sachs Nike Mars Yard 3.0s, and no sooner had we seen the leaks of these wear tests and completely shredded them to pieces than we learned that they were actually being posted up on Depop for $5,000. I still haven't seen a picture of the listing, so I'm just going with what the mainstream accounts are saying. But $5,000 for these, I think you'll definitely agree with me, is absolutely ridiculous. I wouldn't pay $50 for these. And if these really are the Mars Yard 3.0s, bro, talk about coming back into the scene with an absolute whimper. A lot of people out there are really questioning this decision from Nike to get back up with Tom Sachs, because bro still hasn't really beaten those allegations in the public eye. I know people can change, and I know that they want to say that the bro has moved on and everyone deserves a second chance, but is it really worth the brand integrity of Nike to be seen to be getting back up with a guy that has this type of a tumultuous past? I don't know if it's worth it, and I especially don't know if it's worth it if this is what he's coming back to the game with. And I don't know, someone can correct correct me if I'm wrong here, but has Tom Sachs been really killing it in the game in his own field over the past few years to the point where he's really restored his aura? I don't know. The shoes are mid at best. I mean, come on. Even taking away the non-flattering fabric as well as the non-flattering pictures, because these do look like they have indeed been wear tested. These do not look inspiring at all. These actually look worse than the Mars Yard 2.0s. I don't know, the reception I'm seeing online is pretty frosty. I don't know if a lot of people out there are really up for seeing Tom Sachs back with Nike, and part of me feels like they probably should have just parted ways last year and just let it go. What do you guys think? First looks, genuine first looks. This is an exclusive, and I mean a Sneakernomics exclusive preview of the upcoming Palace and UGG collab. That's right. I'm leaking this, and I'm pretty proud to be leaking this first, although I'm a little bit embarrassed that it has to be an UGG. But hey, that's the time that we're living in. These are the Palace Uggs. You guys remember last year's Palace Uggs flew fast and we're reselling for a whole bunch of money. So you can bet the hype and interest is going to be high on these, particularly as we cruise into the winter season here, because these things are part of comfy and cozy season. We've got two shoes. We've got the Tasman, and then you've also got an Ultra Mini for the ladies, and the design's pretty cool. Some people have called these out as being sort of Ed Hardy looking ass Uggs. Yeah, no release date info, pricing info, I'm not that sure either, but that could be your first Sneakernomics exclusive look. Come on. So Nike came out this week with images of their sea glass Nike sneaker, and they look more like Seamen Nike sneakers. The internet went pretty crazy roasting these. Brendan Dunn with a good banger here, and all the rest of it. I'm not sure what they were thinking making these. I mean, they had to have put these together and at some point thought, do you know what, these look a little bit too close to, do you know what, never mind, let's just put these back in the drafts. Had some official images of the Nike Air Force One Low Kobe Bryant, the black colorway. These are supposed to be coming out in the holiday season for 150 bucks, and these are supposed to be really limited. I've seen some reports saying maybe 5,000, other reports saying 8,000 pairs. These look dope. There is a white colorway as well, which I think might be a little bit more of a GR that's coming out soon that we'll talk about in a minute, but these look dope, man. I like how they've got the sort of, what is it, debossed Kobe logo inlaid into the upper. You've got the away type Laker color blocking. Quality looks good. This is a nice sneaker, and if they are that limited, you can bet these are going to resell for a pretty penny. The white pair of Kobe's is set to release on the 6th of December, and these look a little less special, and so for that reason I'm going to assume these are going to be a little bit more available and made in larger quantities. Good friend JjjOUND has revealed a couple of New Balance 993 colorways that are supposed to be coming out this holiday season. Both of these colorways look really nice, if not obviously a little bit simple, but bro, that's the whole dude's bag at this point. Quality looks really nice on these. No pricing or exact release information, but they do look nice. You've got a very similar color blocking style between both of them with this tan typed upper, but they sort of depart from one another when it comes to some of the other overlays. I especially like the darker pair, I want to say. I do think that contrast gives the shoe some much needed pop and a little bit of personality, but to be honest, I would be quite happy to take either. What about you guys? You guys feeling these or not? Let me know. We've had some release date updates with regard to a sneaker that I thought was actually coming out next year, but it is coming out quite soon actually, 13th of December for the Air Max 95 Stash Retro. I mean, it's not like a one-to-one retro. These are a little bit different to the original stashes that we had way back in the day, 2006 to be exact. And I was under the impression these were going to be releasing for Air Max Day next year, or at least that's what I had seen on Mr. Stash's own Instagram account. But that post I think has been deleted. They've decided to bring the release date forward to December the 13th, 160 bucks. I don't know if that's right, if that's the right type of price, because even regular Air Max 95s are retailing for more than that, so I'm not sure if the pricing is right. There's also the Air Force One Low coming out as well on the same day, so is this a pack? I don't know. They're coming out on the same day, 160 bucks for the Air Force Ones, and we've seen some images as well of those which do look Obviously similar in terms of the color blocking, but slightly different in terms of the materials. The Adidas Fear of God Athletics Basketball 2 is going to be coming out this December in this night brown colorway. We have the low tops and then we have the high tops. I think the retail on the low tops is $250, and so I'm going to assume that the high tops are going to be a little bit more expensive, maybe around the $280. And I think the response so far to these shoes has been warm, lukewarm, to be charitable. I think some people have been wondering whether or not this is actually a performance basketball sneaker, even though some NBA players have been seen wearing these on court. They just look like they'd be a little bit too heavy to really ball out in. That raised platform looks a little bit high, where these would be an ankle roll waiting to happen. As a casual sneaker to wear casually, they look alright. I think I would take a pair, but I probably wouldn't pay the full retail price. If these went on sale, depending on the colorway, I could see myself copying these. But yeah, I don't think these are going to sort of reinstate the cool that Jerry once had back in the day. What do you guys think? Nike have officially unveiled the Air Max Muse, and this is a bold new silhouette for women, and it's coming out in the new year. It's got some futuristic aesthetics that also blend with some comfortable tech installed. We saw these on foot earlier on in the year, and they look dope, man. I could see these being really popular. Part of me is almost wondering whether or not they might do some extended sizing for men, because yeah, I think these are right. What do you guys think? Oh, Crocs are teaming up with Squid Games. I mean, I don't know about you guys. Squid Games 1 was awesome, was dope. Even just the debrief and the Easter egg discovery was almost as great as watching the episodes back to back. Bro, Crocs are teaming up with Squid Games, and these are coming out on the 9th of December next month. I've had some official images of the Swarovski Air Max Plus collection, and these are set to come out this holiday season. And bro, at a price point of $550/$450, mate, they are coming for the wallets this holiday season. There's two different colorways. There's one in this sort of gradient orangey red colorway, and then you've got this other predominantly black upper, and the bedazzlement is slightly different as well. And they look cool, both of these pairs. If you've got a chick that you're maybe looking to really secure the services of, no, that didn't really come out right. If you're looking to really wow your significant other, then these could be a good bet, albeit a bit of an investment at that price point. I can't say either of these are appealing to me personally, but I'm sure there are some of you guys out there that will be feeling these. I've had some detailed looks at Nicole House's SB Dunk Low, which are supposed to be releasing this holiday season. You've got these, and then I think the Wizard of Oz SBs, and maybe those are the two big bangers left for the year. And look, man, some people have called the sneaker out for being a little bit too plain Jane, a little bit boring, and to everybody that has been saying that, I want to say that you are absolutely right. I've had a detailed look at the Travis Scott Jordan Jumpman Jack Bright Cactus. These are supposed to be coming out next year, and they look nice. Yeah, it's a nice colorway. I'm looking forward to hopefully having a shot at grabbing the mocha colorway of the Jumpman Jacks this upcoming week, which we're going to talk about as we preview this week's hottest upcoming sneaker releases. But this pair here looks pretty good. A couple of all black kicks to talk about before we preview this week's upcoming sneakers. Seen some more looks at the Jordan 3 Black Cat set to come out next year. Do I really need them? I don't know, man. I've got so many threes. It's one of my favorite sneakers of all time. I might go for them just because I had the 07 pair. And then we've got the alternate What the Duck Nike Dunk Low coming out this upcoming week on the GOAT app. These are $325, and the whole inspiration, if you were wondering why they decided to do a What the Dunk or a What the Duck in a very plain colorway, considering most What the's are all over the place with the colors, is they're inspired by Phil Knight's wardrobe, where the bro likes to dress black all the time. I mean, not black like that, like dress in black all the time. So these have been modeled on that. These are going to be hard to get, hardly even worth trying for, I would have said anyway, but they are cool. I gotta give them that. Right, let's finish off by talking about this week's hottest upcoming sneakers. There's only really one sneaker I think that everybody is going to be pining for. It's arguably the hypest, hottest sneaker of the month. It's the Jordan Jumpman Jack Travis Scott. These are dropping on the 26th, which is this upcoming Tuesday. There's already raffles out there, so if you guys haven't already jumped into all the available raffles, do that now. Get your missus on board. Don't be sleeping in for the sneakers they release. $200 or around 190 pounds is the retail. I haven't actually even checked the market for what they're going for in the resale market, but you can bet they'll be reselling for a fair bit over the retail. And then you've also got the wider release of the AMM, but they're sitting. You could grab those now if you want. You've got the Game Royals on the 30th. So it's a pretty quiet week for releases, apart from obviously the Jumpman Jacks. And that is it for this week's sneaker wrap. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch the video. Really appreciate your support on the channel. Don't forget to give the video a like before you bounce, and go ahead and subscribe to my Instagram and TikTok and give me some money on PayPal. Nah, I'm only joking. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care for now. Peace.
Beginnings on the cusp, not too old.